The world didn't end when the Gulf Stream changed pattern. The world did change. Exploring the remade world and a new beginning starts now. Ian Kyleson's story intertwined with the deadly dangers involved with humans returning to the surface. It's the year 4062.
You're listening to the Kyleson Chronicles. It's an audio drama with a twist.
Elder Johnson arrived promptly at 1700 hours as recorded in the Kyleson Chronicles. He was greeted by Cassy.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome. Mom will be out with the tea and cakes in a few. Ian is finishing the boxes, so it's just me and thee.
Yes, thank you, and I will sit. Are you on pins and needles, or are my eyes deceiving me?
I wanted to know what's happening. Nobody tells me anything. All I get is wait, wait, wait.
I tell what I know when everyone's here. I believe your shorthand's good enough to keep up. You'll need to take notes. I had to take notes.
Elder Johnson pulls his tablet from a thigh pocket. Just then, Rachel enters with a tray laden with a coffee service, teapot, and a half-crumb cake. Thus, Rachel saved the elder from Cassy's questions. Just a moment later, Ian came in from the study where he had been working.
Coffee? Tea?
Some coffee for me, thanks. I see we're all here.
Rachel served him and herself. Cassy made a face and scooted to get her electronic pad without a word. Rachel looking at Tad Johnson with raised eyebrows until she saw Cassy emerge with her tablet.
Why come to the house? You could have briefed us at the installation.
That might have caused some problems. Some of what I've got to say doesn't need to be made public yet. It is better to present problems when some solution follows. Your dad was so very good at explanations that any of us could see the answers. I don't have that gift. Smooth, that's what he was. You, Cassy, and your mom have big shoes to fill. You don't know it yet, but you're a proxy for your brother when he's gone with the teams. That's why there would be training tailored especially for you. We're going to be depending a great deal on you for recording the boxes and so much more. I'm sorry, you and Ian are being asked to grow up fast.
Tad, what's different now?
Kyle kept his own confidences. Some of his reports are so sensitive that the council kept them from the population. All you need to know is the facts. Ian will be given a 6-month crash course. Cassy and you will learn at a more sedate pace.
I thought it was just the firstborn who became the scribe. Why am I even involved? I want to finish school and get a job. Someday, I want babies and a family of my own.
There'll be time for that. I suspect that at 13, you'll have time. Let the poor man tell you what you need to know before you get upset.
Right, here goes nothing. There were 17 freeholds spread around the earth. Now there are only 5. 2 of those are in the old United States.
We have to find out what went wrong in those that failed.
Robson called the population left on the surface once humans. The leaders of the other freeholds concur with that descriptive name. Our survey teams have caught, studied, and released about 300 of them over the past 10 years. No one thought that there would be such drastic evolution. Some of the clans are cannibalistic. That poses some obvious obstacles.
Ian's got to go out there?
You 3 constitute the last of all the families with the gifts of the scribes. All the freeholds agree that you must be safeguarded. The total recall embedded in your genes is exceedingly rare.
Will I have to go all over everywhere like Dad did?
Yes, but not at once. It's a job that falls to you. The colonies on the Moon, Mars, Costello, and the Venus space station cannot return to Earth. Their physiologies are adapted to their spaceborne habitats. Their systems would collapse under their own weight here on Earth. Gravity would kill them with hours of returning. Their drone technologies will be able to help us with food and more once we return to the surface.
Are the seed caches intact?
Robertson verified that a scant 7 years ago, working with the Navajo Confederation.
Who are they?
The Navajo, Hopi, and Pueblo Indians banded together and stayed on the surface. We've been in contact since the beginning. Glacial maximum have been reached and now it's retreating. Robertson's survey team had reached the old Long Island. It has been wiped clean. We can assume that the cities under the ice had suffered the same fate. The retreat of the oceans began as soon as the glaciers began to grow. Every one of our maps is now inaccurate. The coastlines are sufficiently changed as to require new surveys.
Wow. Do we know what the continents look like?
Yes, the moon colonies telescopes took pictures. Those pictures identified settlements of once humans too. It remains to be determined if the vestiges of the old societies are practiced. The tasks are massive. Ian will be the coordination point. All 5 remaining freeholds agree. Your tutors are more than your teachers. They will be your team, chosen by your father.
I can't tell my friends, can I?
No, Cassy, you can't.
At least there aren't zombies or vampires.
Not as much, Ian. We've enough issues to deal with. The mythical must remain mythical, I hope. We really don't know what's out there. It's up to you to tell us. Excited?
I am, really. I'm scared to death.
From the Elder Freehold meeting minutes taken by Kyle Robson. So it begins, and my brother changed. I lost my best friend and found a driven young man in his place. The bond between twins is a force of nature. My friend, my brother, morphed into so much more than anyone could have guessed. It happened in an instant. Gone was the boy I knew, and the seeds of the man I will respect began to manifest. After all the announcements, we ate what Mom had prepared, slept, and then the real work was on us. Dad's chosen will begin to arrive the next morning. Rachel was first to the door. The knocker was still echoing in her sleepy mind. She opened the door and stood gaping at a man several years her junior and his apprentice. The young woman was so breathtaking that shock was the main emotion. Then there was fear for how her son would react to the woman. This is how she met Steve Kirkson and his 15-year-old daughter and apprentice Kelly. Ham radio was the only way to communicate between the freeholds. Kirkson had been the coordinator for radio operations for the past 10 years. She had never met the man, and it was 0600 in the morning.
Come in. Ian is in the records room. He's been at it since 4 o'clock this morning. I think he's trying to memorize his father's work.
Thank you. Sorry to intrude on you in your morning. Loss of such a dynamic leader is doubly hard. He will be missed.
Hi. Aw, I'm Ian.
Hey, good to see you again, Ian. This is my daughter, Kelly, my apprentice. She will be the one that travels with you as part of the team. We've got a little time for me to explain why we are here. You know that the ham radios have been our communication lifeline. We learned a lot keeping the radios going. Each team member has to know how to use the radio.
Cool. We've time for breakfast then. Mom, what's for breakfast today? I'm starving.
There are nuts, honey, and canola-based cereal.
Less than 40 minutes later, the door knocker shocks us out of conversation again. Rachel went to answer.
Hello, welcome to our home.
I'm Laurentis, or Lars, Olafsson, the anthropologist. My apprentice is Jack Bilson. Once we get to the surface, we're going to have to revisit our naming conventions. It could get really confusing. I'll have to bring it to the council because it has become ingrained, and I'm not having children even if the names were chosen different. Sorry, pet peeve of mine. Did you know we are the only freehold to do it this way? How gauche.
Yes, I can see the problem. Come into my parlor, said the spider to the fly.
Humor, too. How refreshing. Jack, bring the cases. They'll need to be here. My brain lives in them. Ian, Cassy, Stephen, Kelly, hello, I'm Lars. My memory, what a crutch I need. Half of what I carry around is reference. We need me to be able to figure out what to say to the motivated once humans. Understanding their culture and evolution is critical. What a task to take on.
You mean I can't shoot first and ask questions later?
My son's going out there. Let's keep shooting to a necessity.
Hi, Jack. I haven't seen you since you left grade school and I was 6.
I guess he does have perfect recall. That sounds about right. I'm 2 years into my studies with Dr. Olafsson now. Old home weekend's barely 0800 this morning. Where do I dump the cases?
This way. I'll help.
Can I get you coffee or tea, Dr. Olafsson?
Water would be better, please. I'm so dried out. We've just rolled in from the outpost in Old Cache Creek. The ruin is fascinating. The diggers are seeing if we can find anything good. Those scavengers have already been there. I'm not sure I agree with the once human tag. I know it is accurate, but I wonder how much civilization's remains with them. They take everything. Mrs. Robson, please receive my condolence. The elder sent word and I came back as soon as my poor wobbly legs would get me here.
Thank you.
Yes. I know things are just insane. No, society is not endowed with patience, much less a civilization. A trait we inherited from those that came before. We have a chance to build a new civilization. Let us hope that patience and tolerance becomes part of the equation.
Amen, sister.
Steve, are you still practicing that claptrap judgmental religion your forebears brought here?
Why, yes, we are. About 40% of our inhabitants believes it with me. When calamity strikes, religion grows. Much of the current situation was man-made. People tend to look beyond themselves for answers. Fear of the unknown doesn't give time for contemplation. Religion fills the void. Many don't want to accept that we humans could ever have poisoned the planet.
Societies have often blamed those outside the veil for the troubles built from within. That's the old blame game.
Kelly and I have to arrange lodging. Would you like to share the ride?
I've done my duty for today. There is one more of us to show up this afternoon. I think he can handle his own introductions. After all, Rachel, you almost married him before you met Kyle.
That is a situation that will cause no issue. He will mind his manners or I'll box his ears.
With that, the Kyleson Chronicles record that the first 2 parties left for the day. I didn't realize how important Dad had been to other people. The door shook and rattled promptly at 1500 hours.
Hi, Dawn. Come and meet my children. We have expected you.
Hi, Rachel. Good to see you. It's been a long time.
Ian, get in here. Mr. Wilson's here, and he's not talking until you do.
I heard the door.
Ian, Cassy, this is my helper, Jay Witherspoon. He's here from the Phoenix Freehold, studying electronic engineering. We have the better of the engineering instructors here, and they have the facilities under the old Intel plant to make the biochips and much more. Nothing is the same as when we came underground. It took Jay 14 months to safely cross the surface from Phoenix.
It's a pleasure to meet all of you.
Welcome to our home. Given the time, will you dine with us this evening?
No, tonight will be the last night you three have to yourselves. We were duty-bound to come today. Next week will be soon enough to start Cassy's training. Ian knows the basics. We'll flesh those out. Your guidance and organizational skills will keep everyone from running over each other. Did the elder tell you, Rachel, that you have been posted as senior administrator to all the scribes and all the freeholds?
No, he left that part out. The old rascal wasn't going to say a word until all the work fell on me.
Peace to you. We've introduced ourselves and we'll be back next week.
They left then. It was the shortest of all the meetings that day. Cassy didn't get anything about Mom's past relationship with Dr. Wilson. I think it serves her nosy self right. Cassy and Mom went back to household chores, and I went back to studying the histories left by all the scribes. We sat quietly at dinner and went to our rest after idle talk about nothing in particular. Day 2 of introductions that were only supposed to take a day comes with morning. I wonder what morning will be like when it comes with the sun. I've never seen the sun once in my life. What wonders might await us? I almost envy the once humans. They survived what the historians of the freeholders thought was certain death.
Ian, it's over 100 hours. Did you sleep at all?
Yes, I did. Not long. I'm researching the choices that put our freehold here. We are the closest, excluding Cornwall freehold, of the freeholds to the ice. I want to know why we are Freehold 3 when the rest have names like Phoenix Freehold or Cornwall Freehold. The reference to us is nothing more than GPS coordinates.
Your father asked that too. Then when he came back from the 3rd survey mission, he stopped searching and told me we are 3. I didn't understand, but he refused to talk more about it. His locked notes are available to you. Maybe the answer is in them.
Two Feathers, our Navajo guide, and Dirk Dixon arrived together at 0800 hours. Their briefings were combined, so began my education. I felt stuffed with everything I never wanted to know. I thought I was frightened before. Now the terror tasted like blood on my tongue. Two Feathers is a trained linguist and guide. Dirk is a weapons master. He himself says that never can one master every weapon. He calls himself a drip under pressure, not an expert. They left to secure accommodations after lunching with us.
What do you think about all Dad's advisors? Are you comfortable with them?
I don't know yet. Ask me after they get done with me.
I've had enough for one day. Good night.
Mom, why did he pick them? Do you know?
Your dad chose people who had something special or unusual about themselves. Ironic, isn't it? Lars and Steve in the same room make for fun conversation. Go to bed early tonight. That martial arts instructor is likely to work your butt off. What was his name?
Leo Leary. Funny name, but he's not part of the team. Just a borrowed instructor. He just grunts a lot and throws the rest of us around like rag dolls. Night, Mom.
Thank you for tuning in to the Kyleson Chronicles, a sci-fi audio drama and novel with a twist. It's written by J.A. Babione, narrated by Charlie Wyrack. Your announcer is Tracy Babione. And here's our cast. Tomcat as Lars Olofsson. Floyd Jones as Jay Witherspoon and James O'Brien. Ellie Hirschman as Don Wilson. Mark Poland as Steve Kirkson. Micah Henderson as Ian Kyleson. Echo Uncles Bay as Cassy Robson. Bruce Jaworski as Elder Tad Johnson. William Jaworski as Jack Bilson. Lisa Sedevy as Rachel Robson. Tracy Babione as Kelly Kirkson and Kessa Forrester. James Sedevy as Two Feathers. Sven Neukranz as the professional musician for the Kyleson Theme. Belle Thompson as Crown Sound Effects. And J.A. Babies as Kyle Robson. To our fans, thank you for listening. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share this audio drama. This is your announcer, signing off.